So what I would like to share with you, yes, is how blockchain as technology supports smart cities. Actually, this was a title I was invited to present as a founder of European Blockchain Hub and as working on Foresight. But let me first give you a brief presentation what I'm doing. So I run Foresight Institute, which is a part of the Millennium Project, who is doing a global research study on challenges. And at the same time, I work as a consultant on digital transformation. So my core clients are cities, where I work and help cities to adopt new technologies and to design strategies. Okay, so yeah, what I would like to share with you is evolution of smart city towards 3.0, and then blockchain as going beyond the fintech applications. And of course, what is the current call, interesting one, and the selection of 100 European cities to run throughout digital transformation towards intelligent city. So let's see what is in the box. What does it mean, intelligent city? The cities were selected by European Commission. There are 100 that will receive consultancy on digital transformation in the next 2 years. So actually, why the real challenge for the group that we are working with the cities is actually how to really scale up and how to evolve and how to move ahead from 1.0 that are some of them towards 3.0. Okay, so if we can go down to the slide to city challenges. So it's a slide 3 after agenda. Yes, thank you. So actually the real challenge today for the cities is different understanding of public sector on what does it mean smart, digital, and in nowadays intelligent, what the Commission is pushing with the 100 cities, then complexity of issues, how strategies that are designed in the cities overlap with another strategies. So while working with cities, actually, there was the smart city idea was mainly driven on many cases by IT department. As we know, then even IT department inside of the cities, in many cities, is considered as just, doesn't have the right role and doesn't interact with other departments when there is a need to set up strategy. So the real question is where to start and what is the ambition of the city. Of course, mayors would like to be smart. Mayors would like to put the flag of being smart, but actually, what's the starting point? So then the next very important thing is the role of stakeholders and the city ecosystem. And of course, at the end of the day, citizens, and without their influence and proper funds, you know how we reach the goal. So those are major city challenges when coping, and then speaking even blockchain supporting smart city. And when we will see some of the use cases, we need to, first of all, and city needs to go through those key elements. So if we can go next, please. Yes, so what is a smart city? Actually, it's a very complex and IT as an enabler, we know it, so we start from this perspective, and if we go to the next, and what I like, next slide, please, if we can go. Yes, thank you. So the main issue, and we see also, as it was already stated by previous speakers, it's not about the will of implementing new strategy or not, but how we govern data, how we govern technology, and actually how we design the good strategy to implement smart city. And try to imagine, and there are really not good cases of good strategic approach of public sectors and cities to build a coherent and good quality strategy. So it is new way of governing using technology, and here I would recall to the starting point of Samos Summit. There are some major issues that we discussed 10 years ago, like interoperability. Actually, interoperability is a basic question today if we want to implement and come to the stage of implementing even blockchain at the final stage, and in some cases AI, and functioning of AI in the cities, the first, so cities varied, and those are the main challenges in order that we build successful cities of tomorrow. Okay, can we go next slide, please? So here, yeah, please a little bit more, yeah. So being the Samos, I would like to recall also and refer to the Yannis' good approach on in explaining from government 1.0 towards government 3.0, and how the the evolution of e-government evolved from concept, goal, and resources. And actually, we, at the starting point, we learn in governments, and the logic of e-government can be fully and can be very well transferred to the development of smart cities. So next, please. Yeah, here we have some examples of successful examples of Smart City 1.0. So here we see the case in Cambridge. The solution was the deployment of sensors, the measurement, and then what were the benefits, optimizations, reduce of truck stops, lower consumption, so reduce carbon emission, and more efficient use of all involved resources. So actually those were the starting point, and they are quite understandable by majority of city mayors and city leaders. So can we go next, please? Yeah, so we have next example towards 2.0, already integrated services like using smart city platform. Can we go next, please? And then we see the area. So then we see 3.0, I choose Seville, which is use already AI and rule-based autonomous decisions. So actually passing, but major precondition to come to the 3.0 was already well-functioning 1.0, 2.0 city. Can we go next, please? Next slide, please. So we hear here already some of the solutions that are well known for all of you. Next, please. Just to go fastly through, please, if we can go to the next slide. Yeah, then City Brain dashboard. So the question that was raised before on governing of data and the ownership of data and who possesses the data, this is a major, not just a debate, but actually a real understanding what cities can do with the data. And when working with on a very concrete cases with the city administration, we identify what data can be used, what data cannot be used, what data is for the functioning of the reuse. And every time, every city is its own new learning experience, but not just learning experience. At the end of the day, when delivering solutions or when advising what kind of solutions cities can pick up, so the solutions vary from city to city due to the level of the maturity of the city. So next, please. So here we see a kind of the framework that actually I referred here that was very well picked up by Lorenzo Madrid, who put last year published an interesting book on Smart City 3.0 and presented at Ljubljana Forum. And he combined very well the work, theoretical work, and the real consulting work on the ground when working with the cities. Here we see the most important preconditions. First of all, political will, strategic plan, tactics, resources, what are important, and some components. Next, please. So slowly we come to the, yeah, so here is the book. So Lorenzo Madrid and Linda Lee-Bauer. So please, those of you who have more interest, you can really find some of the very good cases and also the failures. Next, please. Yeah, now on blockchain and actually the relevance. So first of all, and this made a really big breakthrough that cities, many cities pick up, but I would not speak about the lead cities like Vienna, Barcelona, Amsterdam, but mid-sized European cities that start to value a solution for money invested, not for the purpose of marketing, like for example, Dubai did. So the big breakthrough was done after the European Parliament resolution and the understanding, better understanding of public sector and city leaders with which we work on the possibilities of new emerging technologies. So here, this was a cornerstone, what we use to build the Smart City 3.0. And here is a Greek member of the parliament, lead the whole initiative behind, and she's also very active currently on all legislative packages that are related to artificial intelligence. So actually here we see 7 areas: energy, environment, friendly application, transport, healthcare, supply chains, education, creative industries, and only crypto and financial sector, which blockchain origin, from where blockchain technology originated, is at the 7th importance area. So here we see the distributed ledger technologies could enforce e-government action plan, enforcing EU-wide adoption of once only principle. So this is so important and very important, and one of the major interests for the cities. Why, and when mayors say, okay, why I would use now blockchain in building city. And then later on, actually, we will see where, how cities identify for the next 2 years, where to evolve, what are thematic priority areas. We would see in which domain blockchain will have the most applications. So please, next. So here we see some of the use cases and where blockchain can be used. So those are the most evident use cases where today blockchain is applicable in smart cities domain. So here is universal ID cards, prioritizing local commerce, land property, energy, water, improving public transit, interoperability for smart devices, security IT devices, rewarding citizenship, urban planning, departmental transparency, universal data storage platform, and keyless signature interface. So next, please. Okay, some of the good practice cases, actually we don't have time to evaluate it more, but this was done under the project Blockchain for Sustainable Development Goals. And those were 5 areas with some observations to each of them where blockchain as technology really support and make a major breakthrough. So first one was Estonian e-health system and the use of blockchain. The second one use was Kenya refugee camp digital ID. The third one was Vienna smart city energy grid. And speaking about smart city, it was a really interesting case, this one. Fourth one, Swedish land registry, and the fifth, Moscow elections using blockchain. But even in the Moscow case, we need to look at it from with more observations, because there are only 3 electoral districts, but nevertheless was a good attempt and show the variety of application where blockchain can be applied. So next, please. Okay. What we learned in the last 2 years before we start with Intelligent Cities Challenge, that is today new exercise for 100 selected European cities of the European Commission. In the previous call, Digital Cities Challenge, first, there are 5 elements we pick up and we learn, and which are also very important to build Smart City 3.0 and to use it also blockchain technology. First was creation of winning team, city stakeholders and citizens was the first major step. Second was vision of the city and ambitions. Here we use a foresight methodology to really identify and then bring all stakeholders on board. Then co-creation of the strategy, roadmap of projects, and monitoring. And besides previously well-known KPIs, today also key human indicators are of the most important and that many times are not easy to match technology KPIs, but mayors are using and many cities are using big time. So then, of course, it's a never-ending question, never-ending question, how much smartness and what are the limits of it? So actually it is a process, but nevertheless there are stages where deliveries should be done to secure cities operations. So next, please. Yeah, so now the new call, actually this was announced last week by European Commission. So they selected 100 cities to run the exercise Intelligent Cities Challenge. And an interesting part was when cities, during the process of application, they identify the areas where to further improve the smartness in the cities and what is the major interest. So here we see that really the most important and where we will focus also the work in next to this is e-government and digitizing public services. So here you see the real evidence that the governance and the government is the core element of that. So now done all smartness and all other elements of the city. So now I'm coming closer to the last slide. And the last slide is where to follow, what's next to really observe. One thing is of course, the exercise that is related to the building up of 100 intelligent cities in Europe. It's not only a buzzword, even sounds intelligent, a kind of a buzzword. It's really something behind. And the important is how AI and blockchain will be embedded in the development of those cities. And the next, of course, Ljubljana, where I'm coming from, Slovenia. We are organizing 10th anniversary on City of the Future next year during the EU presidency, where we work also on the evolving model, ideal model of the city. So yeah, that was from my side all. So thanks to support me, Zoe, with sharing slides. So as you see that I need to do some learning from my side. So promise for next time. And now we move back to the questions. Yes. Okay.
What level of independence from central government is needed in order for cities to provide holistic smart solutions to citizens?
Yeah, thank you. It's a very good question. Actually, it's very important. We have the example, for example, in Croatia, where the state authority on one side and e-government services of the government, and then city services, we have some challenges how to interact and how to create synergies between those two approaches. But actually, it is very important. It's very important to synchronize the e-gov services you have on public administration, which are in the domain of the state, with the city services, especially what is related to one-stop shop, all e-services for setting up an office, and we see some very good examples, and we see also some failures.
Designing the strategy plan for an intelligent city, how we make people to participate in it?
Okay, that's okay. The first thing is that in the cities, we use existing communication tools that cities use to communicate with citizens. That's one thing. Some of them that work, that are analog, there are no need to be changed. Second, there is, we did it when we build digital transformation strategy throughout identification of different stakeholders group that represents also in many cases citizens. So only in the last call there were 8 different stakeholders group that we need to work when working in a city, together with using all existing tools from digital, which was the number one and the main, to others like informal meetings and workshops, and when after awareness building with the citizens. So there were different levels of communications and involving of citizens in the whole process of co-creation of the strategy. And the same will be pretty much I'm pretty much sure in the case of building strategies and advising to provide strategies for the cities under the Intelligent Cities Challenge call.
Hi Blaž, this is Yanis.
Hi, Yanis.
I was put in silence by my monk who advises me. He said, "Don't speak anymore in the morning."
Okay.
So I was listening. Blaž, can you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen in Ljubljana? First, do you think that the forum will happen on site for real?
Yeah, okay, let me tell you, this year we start with the project institute for Ljubljana Forum in collaboration with European Investment Bank, and we will create the project institute, which will support the design of the large-scale infrastructure projects for building smart city. So we start this this year. We'll initiate projects, and then next year, on 2021, they will be showcased. That's one thing. Second, from academia and the research, with all speakers that were involved from 2011 until now, we start throughout 5 different areas, a kind of a debate and foresight on future of city. So which means what's the next evolution of building ideal city. And the good thing is that here we connect together urban planners, foresighters, technology people, administration, and European Investment Bank. So European Investment Bank, of course, they're looking for their own angle, everyone looking for their own angle. At the end, the challenge is in 2021 will be what will come out as a next. So yeah, so that is something that will start on 1st of October, the whole exercise of 10th anniversary, and will last until 2021, where Slovenia will hold EU presidency. So we will also put this, the whole exercise project under the umbrella of EU presidency. Yeah. And many of you already participated, and those who not really kindly invited. So yeah.
I've been only once in Ljubljana Forum, and I've been with you in Ljubljana Forum, in Zagreb Forum, and a couple of times in the Bled Forum. You know, you are one of my teachers in this event. Yeah, let's hope that situation goes okay, and we can do Ljubljana Forum. I have a lot of things to tell you about smart cities. I will come back to you in private. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And it's also good to cooperate with you. Your contribution was really of great relevance. Let me say this. Always, whatever projects we did and in the forums. And yes, thank you. Thank you. And wish Samos all the best. And I participated 3 times and more from the beginning. And I'm really looking forward to come back here.